What's up, y'all?
What's good? We're talking to.
Two.
You already know who he is. If you don't, now you do.
Now you know.
Okay, so what's good? What we talking about?
I want to talk about why is it so hard for couples to be transparent with each other?
Why is it so good for couples to be transparent? Okay.
No, why is it not so good?
Why is it not so good?
No, not why is it not so good.
So what?
Why is it so hard for couples to be transparent with one another? I don't like, why is it so hard?
Because, you want to be honest with that person, right? But on the other hand, you don't want to hurt that person's feelings. There's a lot of contributing factors, for reals.
So it is a lot, but like if you communicate, right? Because think about this. Like me, I want to know the truth. Like I'd rather know.
But do you really want to know the truth?
Yeah, because I feel like if I know the truth, then I can navigate around better.
Nah.
If I don't know the truth, it's like you don't give me many options.
Can you handle the truth, though?
That's a whole nother question.
Exactly. You want to know the truth. Everybody wants the truth, of course, yes. But can you handle the truth? How would you respond to the truth? All these things is contributing factors of why somebody can be 100% transparent. Of course, somebody wants to be, well, if you really is into this person or whatever, I would say that you want to be transparent with that person. But can that person handle your transparency?
That's to be found out. Like you have to.
Nah. It's not really, because if you're with somebody and you really kind of, you know this person to a certain extent, like how they will respond to a certain extent. You know, like what to say, what not to say. You know what hot keys and hot buttons to push with this person and how they're going to respond.
So in a mature relationship, not a like immature relationship. We do got some of those out there in the world.
Yeah.
But I'm speaking for like a mature relationship. Like you're mature to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mature to an extent. So the transparency, we're not really talking about us personally.
Okay.
But just in general, for mature couples, why is transparency still something that's hard to do when, you've had enough time to kind of see that person, know the do's and don'ts of a person, and kind of understand? Is it because people don't accept people for who they are? Like it's hard to accept that person for who they are and how they may respond? Because, I feel like personally, transparency gets you a little further, and it definitely saves you from having lost time. Like that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
like you're not going to waste your time. Like be upfront, be transparent, so then I can know how I want to move. Because without that, then I feel like I'm wasting time for what?
It's easy to say these things, right? And then when it comes down to actually being transparent with that person, regardless of being mature or not, it's still emotions that get involved with what you're saying. If you say something that hurts somebody's feelings or makes somebody feel, or they totally disagree with it, and then even if you're mature about it, you're going to you feel some way about it, regardless.
We all got feelings, do we?
And
not?
then how would that person feel about what you're saying, or how they're going to take to it, is a contributing factor of your transparency.
Yeah, but the way to grow is communicate.
For sure, I agree.
So people going to feel a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and especially when you think about how you come at a person, that matters too.
Yeah.
And I know that the person's understanding matters as well. So if a person's not understanding, of course they're going to take offense to what you say.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you're trying to give them that understanding. So like you said, the way that it is being said is also a contributing factor.
Yeah.
But while you're trying to get that understanding, some people can jump the gun. Some people can, jump to a conclusion while you're trying to tell them. Or they even let's say that you're saying something that, regardless of how you say it, it's hurtful. You're being transparent, and then it's still hurtful, regardless of the fact. Like, it's hard to say those things to somebody that you're really into, or somebody that you love, or
but
like, or
whatever. But are you trying to hurt the person, or do you have that person? You have. So, question.
Okay.
So, is trust a factor in that?
Yeah, different, but a different type of trust. It's not like I don't trust you. It's that I
don't trust you with my feelings.
No. It's that I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you. You know what I mean? It's not really trust. Like, I trust you, but I don't want to hurt you. Right? That's how I feel, at least.
I mean, hurt can be defined as a lot of things, you know.
Okay, let's give an example. Like,
also,
see, my bad for cutting you off, but like an example, like, see, let's say that you was out of shape, right? You was out of shape, and then let's say that I wanted to be transparent because I care about you. You know, I want you to be in your best health and stuff. You know, and I'm telling you that you're out of weight. Like, I mean, you're out of shape, and then like. You could take that so many different ways. Like, you could feel like you're perfect the way that you are. And then, you know, I'm just trying to be helpful and I'm being transparent with the way that I feel. And then you can feel really hurt by that. You know, that what do that have to do with trust? Why, if I thought I was going to hurt you for talking about your shape or whatever, like, what do that have to do with trust? That's not trust. That's more of hurt. Like, I don't want to cause you pain. So I'm not telling you this because I don't want to give you pain.
I would trust you to be able to tell me something if you thought that it was something that I should think or reflect on personally. Like, you know, because sometimes we can't see ourselves or how we are. So if you're telling me something, at that point, me being the receiver,
right,
I need to be able to think about it, listen, and just try to figure out why is he telling me this? Because if you're just not a rude person, if you know, why would you just sit here and just tell me for no reason? And I'm talking about, again,
because you don't have to
relationships. I'm not talking about the immature relationships.
Right.
I'm talking about the mature people in the world that have come to a level of maturity and growth in themselves. Because if we're speaking about relationships that's not, you know, stable, it's all over the world. So I'm talking about mature.
I really think that's more of, you love this person's, like, and you said that we're not just speaking about ourselves, but I could, like, I'm really transparent. I'm like overly transparent, you know what I mean? And it's more about the way that you're saying it to that person. For me, like, you know, how I'm saying it, you know, how I'm delivering it, my delivery.
That matters a lot.
Yeah, so my delivery can make it a simple problem into a huge problem. You know, a simple situation to a huge situation. Yes. But also, I am aware about the words that I'm about to say, and then I am a little hesitant sometimes, even though I want to be transparent, for the simple fact of I don't want this person to be hurt by what I'm about to say. That matters. Like, seems like you're missing that part.
No, I do know that.
It seems like, well, at least how I'm taking it, it seems like you're more of, just tell me, even if it's hurtful. Like,
no, I'm not saying that. I am saying inform me.
Yeah.
Like, inform me if you thought something was, you know, if you thought something was not necessarily an issue, not necessarily an issue. Sorry, it's something on my lip.
I think it's more of trying to actually figure out how to say it more than, because let's say that where you're saying mature relationships, so, you know, they know each other, they know things about each other. But I think it's more of figuring out how to say this and when is the right time and place to say certain things, because they're hurtful. Like, regardless, like, we're not just talking about be transparent. My favorite color is blue. My favorite color is this. And, like, we're talking about hot topic items, like, you know, things that you would say that you know that is going to rub this person the wrong way, or you know that probably they could misinterpret what you're about to say, right? The transparency of it all.
I think transparency gets conflicted when you're adding in elements as far as, like, comparing people.
But that could be transparent. Like, what is totally transparent? Transparent is me being open with the ways that I feel and the way that I think. That's how am I understanding this correctly?
If you told me, if you said, oh, I think that, you know, you gained some weight first of all, I want to know, why are you telling me that? Where is it coming from? Like, what angle are you trying to hit me with?
Okay.
And then I'll try to understand. But the moment you try to say, oh, you look like you fat, you need to lose weight like this person, now we got an issue.
So you're saying that being transparent with comparison is going to make the situation way more,
yes, I believe,
unpleasant.
So. Yes, that's how I look at it. Like, if you're going to compare or start going for like people's characters, or
right.
You know, if you use words like
okay, or
should, like these type of words, you need to be careful with. I don't think that it's necessarily hurtful just to be transparent. I think that how you deliver it is really the most important. Because if you think about it and then you feel like, okay, I'm going to come to this person the most respectful way that I know how, I'm not trying to mean no harm.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have to take into the consideration of how I would receive it, right?
Right.
So you would take all that into account. If somebody gets offended, it's because maybe their lack of understanding or your lack of how you delivered it. That's how I feel.
I think it's certain things. See, that's a lot of situations, but I think it's also situations that you would say and you would be as honest and as nice as you could with it, and it's still going to be hurtful, and it still is not going to rub that person the right way.
Like, give me a hurtful example.
A hurtful example.
Of transparency. Like, what could be a hurtful?
Let's say if I say, I'm not attracted to you no more, but I still want to be together. Like, I'm not attracted to you. Like, I don't, when I look at you or whatever, like certain things, like certain ways I used to feel, I don't feel them anymore. I don't know why, but I'm still in love with you. I'm just not attracted to you no more. I don't understand why. I'm just really not attracted to you.
So then what type of response?
You tell me. I mean, like, let's just say that this was a hurtful, transparent thing. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, something hurtful and transparent, and is no personal reason. This is exactly how this person feels, and this is what they're conveying to the other person. Mm-hmm. Like, how would that person take it? Like, well, if you was that other person, how would you take it?
Well, I mean, I know I probably wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it probably how someone else would take it.
I see.
Because I would possibly, me off firsthand, I would just be like, so how long have you had that thought? Like, and I appreciate that you even came to me and told me that, because
it's a lot of factors that go with that, though.
It becomes a mutual dialogue at that for me. No, it does. Yeah, like if you tell me something like that, right? Uh-huh. You coming to me, you're honest, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not attractive anymore, but you still in love with me. Help me understand where that's coming from. Like,
and you're just okay with that. So me and you would take, so okay, let's you're
no, I'm not saying that it's okay, but it's the honest truth. Like,
and you're okay with that.
Yeah, because
you just accepted that, no problem. Like,
no, I didn't just accept it, but I would just have a conversation as far as, okay, so where does that leave us? Where do we stand? Like, so you still want to be here because of the love, or you want to leave because you're unattracted? Like, I would just be more so trying to understand which, at this moment, you're still in love. So is that going to keep you, or is the unattractiveness going to cause you to have to leave, like, or want to leave?
Those are your questions?
Those would be questions.
No.
Like,
attraction, or I guess to me, attraction matters more than just, oh yeah, so how do you feel? What's our next steps from here? I'm feel like, so I'm not attracted to you. So yeah, does attractiveness matter to you to be in a relationship with somebody? Yeah. And if it doesn't matter, like, why doesn't it matter? Like, because attraction matters to me, why am I not attracted? It'd be a lot of questions I have.
Like, would it be a physical, like, attraction? Is that like attraction? Because there's, or mental, like, I could just not be a good person no more. Like, my character could just be shot. Like, you're like, yeah, I'm not even attracted to that character no more. Like,
in all aspects, like, I'm not physically attracted to you. I don't want to touch you no more. I'm not attracted. I'm not I haven't been interested in touching you anymore. I'm not attracted to you physically, visually and stuff. Like the way that you look is not attractive no more. The way that you act is not attractive. Like these things is very hurtful. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, I'm not saying it's not hurtful. I'm just saying, why is it so hard? Because you don't want to hurt?
Yeah, what the heck? Like you're in love with this person. How can you tell somebody something like that? That you're in love for? You like you're crazy. Like, what do you mean? Like you just took it like a G. Like, okay, so I'm just not attractive. So what makes me like? You're just cool with it. Like, no, it's not that cool. Like, I don't care how mature you are. Like it doesn't matter to you. It seems like attraction doesn't matter. I need to figure out something worse than that because worse is not a word, I know, but I need to figure out something worse than attraction because it seemed like you took that a little too well. That's not how normal people respond, even if they are mature. Like you're in love with this person, in attraction for a lot of relationships, not every relationship, is one of the key contributing factors of why you're together with this person. The attraction in how they look, attraction in how they make you feel or what they do. I can speak for myself. I know the first thing, and I could be shallow, who knows, but the first thing that makes me attracted to a person is the way that they look, their face or whatever like that. And then after I say, oh, they're a pretty person, nice looking person, and then their personality is what really gravitates me to them. Because you could be a pretty person.
I'm the opposite.
You can be a pretty person and then have a horrible attitude. I am not interested in you. Or you can be a ugly person, and then have a beautiful personality, and then I don't even think I would have gave you a chance to even figure out your personality. We would have to have the same career or something for me to even know that you have a good personality. Because most of the time, I would only be interested in talking to you after she looks pretty. I want to get to know her and stuff like that. And that could just be a guy answer. I don't know. But, or that's just my answer. I don't know. But I know that the first thing is visual appearance is the first thing that makes me like, oh, and then after that, I want to know more about this person. So you're telling, how would you even you be watching somebody like a stalker for a while and be like, oh, dang, that person right there has a great personality. I want to get to know him.
Looks catch your attention, yes. but at the same time, like it's always for me, like, but how is that person?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I agree.
I think it's the person because I feel like looks change over time. So, I mean, whether they progress or do the opposite,
decrease,
so I feel like that can't.
But then you're kind of already. You're locked in because of the but still appearance still locks you in. It's still like it's pleasant. It's a pleasant thing.
Just an initial thing for me. Like
you're crazy.
That's just personal.
Yes.
So
you're crazy.
Like it is personal. Like I think it's personal.
You're crazy. No.
Yes. Like it is initial. Like of course I don't want you to be ugly.
So I can just be Prince Charming and out of nowhere turn to a Booger Wolf.
No, I'm not saying that.
A frog, not the prince. And then you're still I love him. Like right?
No, I'm not saying that. But I just understand that. I guess I'm just overthinking it because I'm like, bro, you getting up in age.
Excuse me?
All,
I'm very young. Calm down. Most people don't even be in relationships at my age.
I'm just saying.
Committed ones at least.
And you got a couple grays.
Oh, I got grays, yeah.
So I ain't got no gray yet.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, I can't feel like that's just a determining factor in stuff
you coming from my parents right now?
I'm not coming for your appearance, but I'm just saying, look how shallow. Like, how would that work?
What?
If I just thought about the attraction part, you
you better tell me so I can work on it.
And how would I?
You can tell. You said you wasn't talking about our relationship. Our relationship is different. We're already transparent.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for people who don't have that or trying to figure it out, like transparency, like you see how open you was. Like you could tell me.
Oh yeah, you can tell me.
But then you just said like if you said something about my weight, it's hurtful. But
I'm
if I told you about you, it would be hurtful.
I'm speaking about the majority. Yeah, it's hurtful regardless of the fact. Like, but I'm saying the majority of people. I'm not speaking about our relationship because we had years and we've been around each other 24 hours at a time. Like,
I think there's different ways to hurt people. Like,
yeah, for sure.
And I don't think just being transparent is just the way. I think, like, again, if you say it the wrong way, if you compare that person in some way, if you demean that person in some way. I think this is what makes transparency hard, because I feel like people don't know how to get all those right ropes just to say something to a person. I think that's what makes transparency hard. I don't necessarily think because it's hurtful. I think because people don't know how to address it in a way that is acceptable. That's what I think. I think that transparency is not just, oh, I don't want to be transparent because it could possibly be hurtful. Like, I just think the way you deal with or how you approach it can be hurtful.
Yeah, nah.
And the receiver,
I actually totally disagree with that. I'm
and the
gonna tell
receiver,
you, because of, you can say something totally hurtful no matter how nice you wrap it up in a bow. No matter what you do with that, it's still gonna be like, when you open that, it's still gonna be disaster in there.
But when you're being transparent with someone, right?
Yeah.
And you're being open and you're really trying to have a, a dialogue with this person, then like, you're not coming from a place of malicious, or like, you're not coming from that place. And I think when you know a person or you trust that person, I think that obviously you have to get to that point where you understand that person's not coming from that place.
Okay.
You're
crazy. Like, I think you're just used to our relationship, so you can say stuff like that. But the majority of people is not going to be, in my opinion, they're not going to be able to just handle, or it's not going to be as
I don't think that
easy.
But I don't personally, like, of course each relationship has ups and downs, because I feel like obviously there's a lack of understanding and immaturity, like all this stuff has to be done, like, but I also feel like if you're saying like, oh, 'cause I can speak like that because we're to a place of transparency.
For sure.
But I also can recall, like, before we got to this place, way in our beginning, not that much away.
Okay.
But I remember us being transparent enough to say, if we figure out within this amount of years, we would definitely come to a mutual understanding and say, this not working, and we just gonna have to figure it out.
Because we both didn't want to waste time.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we figured that out way in the beginning too, that if we figured that this wasn't working, we want to let each other know immediately that it wasn't working, because we don't want to waste time. And
I feel like that's transparent. So
yes,
it
is.
So I feel like if more people were transparent with one another, they would have more time to, like, I feel like they waste a lot of time. I'm like,
I don't get me wrong, I'm not going against transparency. I believe that couples should be transparent with each other. I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm just saying that when you're speaking about transparency so lightly, it just sounds like you have to, like, ease into transparency. Like,
you have to
can't
ease into it.
You can't just drop the hammer on somebody and just expect for everything to be okay. It's not. Like, like, how many shows and things have you seen? I know we're talking about real life, but, sometimes shows is based off of real life. So how many shows have you seen that somebody says something to somebody and it turns to a big deal because the misinterpretation or the way that the person...
that comes with lack of communication.
The way that the person takes it or whatever. It could be the delivery or it could be the interpretation, regardless of the fact. And even if it's neither one of those things, even if the person delivered it nice as ever and the person interpreted it still could be hurtful at the end of the day.
Yeah, but people get hurt all the time. Like,
yep, see, you're like numb to it, like, or something.
I'm not numb to it. I'm just sitting here and I'm just like,
you have a hold on your emotions, so you can say stuff like that. But sometimes stuff hurts no matter what.
Yeah, but if something hurts, right? I guess maybe, for me, it's probably something I'm trying to figure out. I'm always trying to understand. Like, I'm always trying to understand where this went left. Where did this go right? Like, I'm always trying to understand the key elements of something. So is not transparency the issue? Is communication more the issue? Or, like, what is the issue here then? Like,
the issue could be the issue itself.
Like-
The issue could be the issue itself. So the issue that you're bringing up or that arose in your relationship could be the big issue. And what I mean by that is that you're telling this person about something and being transparent with this person could be the actual issue. And you're just being transparent and open about it. And it's actually making the problem even bigger because of the way that you feel about it, which is you feel hurt about it. It can make that problem bigger. Like, let's say that I'm a self-conscious person, right? I'm self-conscious. And then let's say that you told me that that you're not interested in me or you're not attracted to me anymore. I'm already self-conscious. I already have a personal problem with that. I'm already looking at myself like I don't look nice. And then you telling me that you're less attracted to me as well. Like, bro, it's an issue. Like, it's an issue.
So it's just personal at that.
Yeah, but you're married to this person, and probably you should already know that. But regardless of the fact, you're just trying to be transparent with me and tell me that. So you're pretty much beating me up at my low point, regardless. I'm already hurt about, like, oh, dang, you know, I don't like the way I look or the way that this is or whatever. And then you tell me, like, you're not attracted to me as well. Like, what? Like, you know what I mean?
That's like the worst case scenario.
I'm just saying it could be a case scenario though. Like you can't say that it's not a possibility.
It is a possibility.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, that person should know that person is very self-conscious.
Yeah.
So that's when delivery and all that stuff comes into play. Because you like, I feel like transparency is for growth. I feel like you're saying something to someone out of either concern, understanding, you know, you're trying to get somewhere. I don't, and I'm speaking about mature couples again.
Okay.
People who have built this foundation to a certain extent, you know, and I feel like you have a little bit of growth in your relationship. So if you've been married for about 10, 20 years and transparency is still like one of those things that you kind of like, I don't know, you know, I think that's something that should be like,
no,
you don't think so?
Like I said, I'm a strong believer in transparency. I want you to tell me anything. Like, oh yeah, I don't like the way that you dress. I want you to tell me that I don't like the way you smack when you eat. I want you to tell me whatever it might be. So I'm not an advocate against it. Like,
but there's a way. So like, let's take the smacking, right? If I say I don't like the way you smack when you eat, right? That can come off as rude. First of all, it don't matter. I'm being transparent.
Right.
I don't like, but then again, it's personal. So you're telling me you don't like something that I do. That's preference, right?
Yeah.
So how I would address that transparency would be like, hey, you know, when you eat like that, like, do you like, you know, like, is there something
that didn't
like
make it better?
like,
that
you know,
didn't
but
make it
there's
better,
a way though, like. If I say I don't like, that just makes it my personal preference.
Nah.
Like,
that didn't make it better.
It don't make it better, but I'm just saying.
You didn't make me feel any better by the way you just said that.
Because I was gonna come up with a thing, but I'm like, that's my personality though.
Yeah,
my personality
personality
just comes in like,
yeah, no,
like, you know.
Nah.
So what if you just ask person like, why do you eat like that? Like, is that still, that's not
Oh,
transparent?
yeah. I'm going to tell you a real life thing that somebody in real life told me about smacking. They told me that when I smack, it makes the food taste better. They literally told me that. So, and then what I'm supposed to say? Okay, bro, like, well, you know, you shouldn't smack or whatever, or it bothers me when you smack, you know, so your food just will have to taste a little worse. Like, what do I supposed to say? Like, what do I supposed to say to make it better for that person? They literally said that. So me telling them that they're smacking is irritating me or bothering me or annoying or whatever. And then now their food is going to taste better because they could real life really feel like their food is tasting better because they're smacking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sarcastic at heart, so
see, nope,
you know,
and that's supposed to help the situation.
No, like that's why this conversation is not technically for me. It's just for my understanding.
Okay.
Like, you know, it's just to get an understanding of why this is so hard. Like, you know, me.
You're crazy.
It comes
with
character.
I always think that you're crazy. You're crazy.
I can be crazy.
You really are because, like, you just don't understand.
That's what this conversation is for. Like, I get the hurtful part. Like, I get that. Like, I get that. But I feel like so many different elements just.
Okay, so let's just break it down. Let's just break it down for the people. So pretty much being transparent, I believe, is a good thing. But I'm just telling you that transparency could bring bad things because the way that the person is interpreting it and your delivery, right? We got that down packed, right? And then I'm also saying that even if you delivered it the nicest, most calmest way that you could, right? And the person interprets it exactly the way that you're saying it, you know what I mean? They understood it for what it was. It's that person can still be hurt. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm telling you that hurt, like that can break up relationships. Being hurt can break relationships down.
I get that.
Like, if I cared about the way that I looked and then you thought that even though you was okay with me being ugly to you, like, I'm ugly now, and then pretty much you don't care because you love me and you love my personality. It's so amazing. And then and then like that could be like
you can't even talk.
I could possibly be like, nah, like, bro, I want somebody to love me for all elements of me. Like, yeah, I'm mature.
I understand
and that don't have nothing to do with immaturity. That has something to do with I want somebody to appreciate every aspect of me. Like, or like at least that aspect of me. Like, I'm being transparent with you now. I'm letting you know that I want somebody to love the way I look as well. I want to be attractive to the person that I want. Are you talking to me? No. I'm like, beautiful.
I'm like, you talking to me?
I'm like, beautiful, no. But I'm just saying, like, I'm giving my perception of that case scenario. Like, I that would bother me. Like, and that I could be speaking about other people out there that it could bother them too.
I guess I understand that.
And you could be okay with that. Like, that's you.
It's not being okay with someone hurting you or someone bothering you. Like, it's just, how do you get past that? Like, we know that people get hurt.
Okay.
We know that people going to feel some type of way. We know people get offended. Like, we know people are sensitive. So that stops you from being transparent and honest with a person?
No, it's okay. So if you're trying to figure out how to get past that part, it's either you accept this person transparency or like accept how this person feels about this thing, or you do something to fix it or solve it. Like, you know what I mean? That's what you do.
So, and people don't give that even a opportunity because of what you were saying that, it hurts. It hurts people or this. So people just go on and just, if it ain't broken, like, and it's like, no, like, I don't know. So that's all. Like, I was just trying to understand. Like, so those things just make you just not be transparent.
Yeah, I think those things are for sure deterrents. Those things are for sure deterrents in being transparent, for sure. Like, if somebody wanted to be transparent and then they knew how this person was going to, because in a relationship, if you're with somebody for a long time, you kind of have a gauge on how they would take this, what you're about to say. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, you would know kind of in a way that this is not going to go well, or this is going to be hurtful, or no matter how I say it. And then it's a deterrent. When you love somebody, you don't want to hurt somebody. You know what I mean? Let's even go to a lighter example. Like, if I made a beautiful dinner for our anniversary or something like that, and then, I put my heart and soul in this. It was just terrible, and it tasted disgusting. You know what I mean? And then, you can be transparent about that. You can say, I appreciate you making me this food, and I appreciate the effort and the thought. And I can see you put a lot of effort into this, but I didn't like it, or it wasn't my favorite meal dish that you actually cooked, or whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then that's hurtful. Like,
you wouldn't ask, like, okay, so what was wrong with it that you didn't like? You wouldn't ask that, like, you ask questions. Like, we can't read minds, we can't read feelings. So
I probably would. Like, why wasn't it your best, or whatever?
Like, why wasn't, like, what was wrong about it? Like, because I would only be telling you because I don't want you to sit here and make that dish another another time, and then I'm gonna just keep eating it.
No, you're supposed to be transparent. I'm just saying, but it's still hurtful. Like, it's hurtful for the person that literally did all that work to try to do that for you, and then you appreciate it for sure. And then it just didn't hit the spot, and then now you're eating McDonald's for dinner.
Yeah, and I think at that moment it becomes that person's personal, feelings that they have to figure out. They have to figure out why wasn't it, why was it so hard for me to take that criticism about my deal, like my meal. Like, I don't understand.
It's just a little hurtful. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's okay though. Like, that's the problem. Like, it's not okay to get hurt.
I think it's okay to get hurt. But
like, where does growth come from? Like, where do you grow at? Like,
yeah, that's exactly where it comes from. Yeah. Like, well, one of the places it comes from. But still,
like, if you cook a bad meal,
mm-hmm.
I'm a know that you're already sensitive to that,
mm-hmm.
and so I'm gonna know, like, okay, how can I tell him that this wasn't the best meal,
mm-hmm.
while letting him know that I appreciate his time and his efforts and his consideration of me to even do this in the beginning, because he didn't have to. Like, it's that situation.
I think that some people beat themselves up more than their mate beat them up. Like, so you could say that. And then let's say that I took it worse than you took it. Like you like, it's like harder for you. Like, oh yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm this is a great night for me still, regardless of the fact. And then, but the person could beat their stuff about it. You missing that part?
No, I'm not missing that part, because I can support you. Like, it is easy. It's easy to say it's okay. Like, it's easy, I guess, not easy, but it's an option to sit here and be like, it's okay though. Like, I can still uplift you in that moment. And again, if you're going to beat yourself up about it, what I got to do with that? Like, at that moment it becomes personal. Like, you don't understand?
If you love this person, you have a lot to do with it.
I know. But if I can be uplifting as well as criticize you in something, and that at that moment you're not accepting the help, like, you're not accepting it, right?
Yeah.
So, and then that's where it becomes like that's your personal issue. And I think that you would have to figure that out, because of course I would support you and try to help you, but it would be something that is far more deep, rooted, that you would have to figure out that, right?
Yeah.
So should I stop being transparent with you because of that?
No.
Like,
no, that's not. I'm not saying. My thing is not to deter people from being transparent. My thing right now is more of knowing that transparency has different sides.
It does, but again, I get how you deliver and how you receive. And how you understand and comprehend. All those go into play when you're trying to be transparent. I get all that. And I get that it could possibly hurt. I get that it can offend. I get that it can freaking discourage. Like, I get all that. But I'm just saying, like, how do you grow? Because we grow from our mistakes. We grow from painful situations. We grow from discouragement. Like, not technically saying that we want to continue to have that, because that's the only way we grow, but just saying that it does play a factor in helping us to mature and, just progress. Like, in our life, it does, right?
No.
You don't think it does?
Not all the time, because I think some stuff could just be preference. So if I tell you something that is like I don't like the way that you look with glasses, bro. Like, you need glasses to see. Like, that's preference. Like, like, what can you do about that? Well, I'm going to get laser eye surgery for you. Like,
no, I'm going to say, well, you can't ask
me. See, I can't ask you that, but some people actually really care. Some people actually really care versus you just being so okay with yourself that I can't really break you down because you're so okay with yourself. Like, okay. But other people's like, what? Like, you don't, like, that's not my fault. Like, yeah, I was born like this. Like,
so... Okay, well,
that's the part that you right there. Like, I just don't think that you're getting because of the way that you are. Like, you're not getting that part to me.
The other side of it.
Yeah, you're not getting the part that some things that somebody could be transparent about couldn't be for uplift. It could just be preference. And then when it's for preference, it's like nothing that you did wrong or nothing that led up to you being like that. It's just the other person's preference just is against whatever it is that you're doing or that whatever, Yeah. And what could you do to fix something like that, really? Like, like, you didn't do nothing to kind of make that happen. So what could you do? You can't do nothing about it.
You can't do anything about it. But I just think that's where,
I really don't like your light brown eyes. I prefer black eyes.
And I was born with them.
Yeah, deal with it. Like, see, deal with it. Like, that's really a turn off that your eyes is light brown.
Like you knew my eyes were brown the moment you looked at me.
Like
you should have looked the other way.
I really don't like that your eyes are light brown, bro. Like I don't like your eyebrows. I don't know. Like I'm just saying some outlandish stuff on purpose, just for the simple fact that these could happen. And then but I still love you though. But
yeah.
but. And then like they're hurtful. Like that's all I'm saying. I'm going extreme. But if we was just going for real, like lightheartedly, like most of the time, like if you're saying something, you're only trying to uplift, and you're only trying to help, and you're only trying to get better and be honest with this person about something. So I'm going
care
extra.
About them.
Yeah, I'm going extra. But the real reason for this conversation is more for being transparent to actually get better, for sure.
Yeah, like I feel like that helps. Mm-hmm. That helps growth in relationships. Mm-hmm. And everyone's afraid. Well, not everyone.
They should be afraid. Be very afraid. For sure.
I think it's a work in progress, though, to reach transparency. I don't think you can just go in just being like, hey, man, let me tell you right now, I don't like feet. Mm-hmm. I don't like this. Let me see your feet. Yeah, your feet is ugly. Yeah, your feet one of them ones I don't like. Yeah,
no.
Like, you can't go in just doing that. But how you do that is like, yeah, I'm not really a fan of feet. Like, feet is not really one of the body parts that is my favorite.
This is my favorite part of my body.
I'm like, yeah, for you. But, and it's not personal. But I'm just not. I'm just not a person that likes feet. Like, I don't know.
You really think that that's just gonna just like pop off? Okay, like
I don't think it's okay. I'm not saying that, but I feel like that's a form of transparency.
It is a form of transparency.
It's preference, but I prefer not to like feet. But me telling you that I'm being transparent with you, so you don't get caught off guard with anything. I'm letting you know.
Oh my God.
I'm not. And it can hurt your feet because you think that's the best part of it. Hurt your feet. It can hurt your feelings because you can probably think your feet
is the best part of my body.
Best part of your body.
What? You don't like my feet? I love my feet. That's why I show off all the time. Girl, you don't like my feet?
Yeah,
that's not cool.
Yeah, but
I just lost my self-esteem.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, at that point,
now I'm hiding them all the time.
You let
wearing sock shoes and stuff. You feel me?
You gonna let one person just take up your whole.
Oh, she not talking about my feet. That's a joke.
Yeah,
my feet beautiful. I have the best man feet in the world. They could be model feet. You feel me?
I mean, they are pretty. Like,
wait. Pretty is a strong word for me,
okay,
but they're pretty nice.
Let me not comment because my words come out.
They're pretty nice for a male's feet. Like, I'm not gonna even toot my own horn, right, wife?
Yes.
Okay. No. Be honest. Like we being transparent.
I'm being transparent.
My feet is okay. Say how you would say it. I'm just curious. How my feet as a man.
I said pretty. You said pretty too much.
Oh, pretty. Is they pretty for a guy feet?
I think they pretty for a male's feet. Yeah, feet. Like I mean, but I don't know how people take the word pretty. So
I know they might see it and they be like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, so but to me, they're not the average male feet to me. Like male feet. See, there I go. Male feet be all crusty and scary. I'm just saying some male feet, not everybody.
I don't got that.
But I'm just saying, no, you don't got the creepy.
I don't got the creepers.
You don't got.
I don't got the creepers. The Jeeper creepers.
No, your feet not creeper crawlers.
Okay, I'm glad.
But
All right. So, what do you want them to take home with this conversation?
What I want to round this all up is just. Stop being so sensitive.
Okay, that's the lesson.
Okay, no, that's not the lesson. But it's just transparency. I think is something that in our time.
In our time. Okay.
In 2023. Yes, I think that it needs to be just a little looser. Like I just think that it needs to. It needs to be a conversation.
Is that your history talking because you've been married for so long? So
no, I just think that it needs to be.
You're a vet in this marriage game, so like Nah.
I just think it needs to be a little looser. I don't think that we still have to be the 1950s people.
Me and you still push each other buttons sometimes, even though we're cool. We'll push each other buttons and laugh about it in the same time. So
yeah,
but
because
we still do push each other buttons, no problem.
Yeah, but when we're transparent, what we might push each other buttons in the act, but we go in our separate ways and we sit down and we actually, give it thought. Like, it's something.
There's a reason why you're saying it. For sure.
Yeah, like, it might be some flames, not too many flames, but it might be, back and forth. Well, that's how you feel. Well, right. Yeah, it might be that, but at the same time, it still gives something to think about and reflect on personally. Like, okay, so I know this man loves me dearly, and if he's telling me this, why is he telling it to me? Why?
For a reason.
Like, it has to be something.
A reason.
So it's helpful because it's helping the person reflect. It's just putting a mirror in front of them.
Yeah.
Transparency.
Transparency.
Putting a mirror in front of somebody.
A mirror is, just to let you know, it's not transparent.
No, I know that.
A window is transparent. Mirror isn't.
You the one who said, yeah, transparent. Like, you the one who was over here
agreeing,
going along with me. So
you're on a roll.
No, but I just think that it's a mirror. Like, I think that transparency
is reflection.
Is
reflective.
That's what it is.
It's a reflection.
It helps you to see. So it being hard to do in relationships, I feel like it needs to just, it needs to be considered.
For sure. For sure, I agree. If I want what I want them to take home is that transparency is important. Why you make me laugh? Transparency is important. Like, I'm not against transparency. I'm very transparent in my relationship, for sure. And I want transparent. Like, I be begging for transparency. Like, hey, let me know what this is right here. Do you like this food or not? Like, you don't have to sugarcoat it. Oh, wait, you don't like this food? Like,
I will add, though, transparency does have levels.
Yeah.
So, it does have levels. Doesn't mean that you can't be that, though, but it does have its levels.
Yeah.
So that it shouldn't, but somebody being hurt or something, I don't think it should you should just avoid it.
Yeah, nah. It should. If you care about this person, you care about them being hurt.
Yes, you care about them being hurt, and you also care about
them understanding.
Yes. So in order for them to get that, I think you should be expressive and transparent.
Well, it's to the relationship, but transparency is for sure important in a relationship.
Yes,
for sure.
I think that's.
If you don't have transparency, it's a problem, for sure, right?
I think so. I think it's an issue that needs to be resolved for sure.
It's a reason why they're not being transparent. You have to resolve that reason.
Because I just feel like you won't have somebody that's coming to you. Like, if we're together, I'm gonna come to you for information. I'm gonna come to you for, like, what do you think? If I'm really wanting a honest answer from you, because we're supposed to be a team. So I think that without transparency, it's like, are you just telling me that just because you think I just want to hear that? Like, and it just causes more conflict, I think, because it's like now it's going to lead to, I can't trust his answer. I can't trust her answer. She probably just telling me that because she think that I'm going to take it this way. And, it's just too much because now you start losing other elements of things. That's what I feel. Obviously, you work towards transparency. You don't just come out the bag with it. I'm not saying that. That's why I said mature, people and couples.
So if you're not mature in your relationship, first become mature and then transparent?
No, if you're not mature in your relationship, at that moment, that's an individual thing that you need to figure out first. I think you got to find yourself and, because if you just get offended at every single thing, it's like nobody's going to want to talk to you. At all. That's just who you are. At that point, you gotta grow up. You have to grow up. It has nothing to do with relationship at that. You personally need to grow up.
I see.
Yeah. So, and it takes time for that.
For sure.
For
sure.
So I'm just saying, it's just something that whoever's listening, like, if it can help you, then I think that don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be transparent. But just understand there are levels to transparency, and there is a way that you deliver it and you approach it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the person receiving it is going to receive it with open arms, neither. And these are just things you have to be aware of before you take that step. But I definitely think that it needs to be a step. I think it needs to, be involved for sure.
Okay.
Yep. So that's my thoughts on transparency.
Okay.
Even if it's hurtful.
Even if it's hurtful.
Even if it's hurtful. Like,
okay.
Like, we hurt people all the time, unconsciously.
Or consciously.
Or consciously. But, we don't intend on it. Especially when we love and care about you. We don't intend to hurt you. Some people do. But, again, the elements of why is because they don't care probably, and they probably don't love you, like they say. Just saying.
Wow.
Wah. But
Nah. Okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm just not one of the more sensitive ones.
Yeah.
Not to be offensive, but I think that I just break it down more logically. Yeah. So emotionally, just slap them upside the head when you want to.
Oh, wow. Now she's pretty much endorsing domestic violence.
No, not at all.
She's endorsing.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
I'm just kidding. But
all right. Well, you guys know what to do. If you're listening on a podcast, I hope you like the smooth jams of my voice. And if you're watching it on YouTube, Facebook, or any of that stuff, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because we're gonna be dropping more videos like this all the time. But until next time, we are out. Deuces.